Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Trading View update. Bitcoin is moving higher pretty aggressively as we speak. We're now finally, or the 2022 yearly candle for Bitcoin is now finally in the green. So let's look at what's happening, where we could be going next, and where we might find some support and resistance. The one thing that I did want to point out to start with, just looking on a more macro scale, if we look at the weekly chart, we can see pretty nicely how the MACD indicator has just flipped into a buy, or flashed a buy signal for the first time since August of last year. So that moving average convergence, divergence, moving averages crossing over, histogram bar now in the green, suggesting that this momentum is really starting to build in the bullish favor of Bitcoin. If we go to the 4-hour, look at this. We're now, as I said, we're now finally in the green for the year. What we've actually got, which is quite interesting, is one thing I would say is that the RSI has broken out of this triangle that we had been trading in. We're now heading towards that overbought zone at just above 70. So just be aware. I do expect, given the suddenness of this breakout, and as we've seen in the past or recently, when we have these sudden moves higher, they do tend to be followed by a pullback. So just bear that in mind. I do expect 45.5K at the least to be tested. But overall, this is starting to build into a really nice bullish rally. Hard to think that from the lows of 32, 33K from the 24th of Jan, we're now up almost 50%, which I don't think, it doesn't look like it, but that's the case. The 111-day moving average is a number that I just wanted to look at very briefly, just because you can as well see historically speaking, since April of last year, it's actually been a pretty important level to look at in terms of resistance and support. Once Bitcoin broke through this back in August, we moved higher, but ultimately came back to test it as support once before. When we had that move lower in November, it tested as support, held, then failed to hold, and we moved lower. So I don't think it's unlikely that we could see some sort of corrective move happen over the next few days like this before we then move again higher. Initial areas of resistance above us that we're looking out for, we have the, if we take the impulsive move from the 24th of Feb, or the swing high from the 9th of Feb and the swing low from the 23rd of Feb, could be looking at around 55K as that first real area of resistance. But again, short term, definitely want to look at the 52K, which marked the ceiling for pricing, for price trading throughout December. So keep an eye on the 52K area. That's really it. On the terms of liquidations, we've had, where are my liquidations at? Here we go. So we've had around $250 worth of liquidations across the entire crypto industry in the last 4 hours. Expect this to build as we see more liquidations among shorts takes place and shorts become involuntary buyers. We can see here really nice big green candle of short liquidations, highest since 28th of February. But given that we're now in uncharted kind of price territory for the year so far, we could see a lot of liquidation levels amongst shorts found at these sort of levels. So just keep an eye on that. We could be setting ourselves up for a nice short squeeze. So quick summary on Bitcoin. Expect a short-term pullback to test support levels. It's something that we want to see for a healthy market, but overall this is starting to look very good indeed. On the Ethereum side, Ethereum is an interesting one right now. Again, a huge amount of moving averages converging to this level. First of all, let's take a look at the 111-day moving average, which came in acted as resistance, but also the 50-week moving average. So interestingly enough, these two averages converging, Ethereum broke through straight away. We're now above the local top from the 10th of February at 3,290. Next real target of resistance will be this 3,400 area roughly, which are the local tops from the beginning of January. Again, though, keep an eye out on the RSI. We're encroaching into overbought territory now. We haven't really seen any sort of big pullback for Ethereum since the rally started on the 16th of March. So for almost 2 weeks now, expect something. We do expect some sort of pullback. We would hope to see some sort of pullback, maybe retest that local top from the 3,035. Which was the local top from the 2nd of March. If we put in the fib levels here again, initial short-term target at 3,493. Interestingly enough, also now where the 200-day moving average comes in. Let me delete the others so you can see this clearer. So we've got a convergence of the 200-day moving average as well as the 1.618 fib extension level from the current impulsive move higher. So this area, 3,500, potential a key area of resistance. In terms of support, yeah, as I mentioned, 3,048, that first real level of support. Below that, we'd be looking at the 2,900 level and then 2,800 level, pretty evenly spaced apart. The ETH BTC trading pair finally moving sideways actually over the last 2 weeks or so. So both assets outperforming or performing in tandem with the same sort of returns. If we continue to see this risk on sentiment return to the markets, and if we see Bitcoin start to encounter more resistance, we'll likely see that rotation from Bitcoin trickle down into alts, and that's when we would expect the ETH BTC pair to start moving higher. But for now, all eyes on Bitcoin is showing real good signs of a rally, and that is not over just yet. That's it from us this morning. Have a good trading day.